The following is a production of the Lance J Radio Network and Best in the World Sports, a division of Definitive Visions Multimedia. The opinions and views expressed are strictly those of the host and do not represent the views of Lance J Radio Network.
You're listening to Jonesy and Brown.
Both you are crazy.
With Mike Jones and John Brown.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world famous Jonesy and Brown show. By my side is my broadcast, podcast, webcast, whatever type of cast we do, outcast, I don't know. But my partner in crime is right here with me, Mr. Mike Jones. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm chilling, man. Hey, lots going on in Philly sports. You know, we got Eagles going for 5-0 against the Denver Broncos. We got a good guest. We'll talk about that today. We got
Phillies going to the playoffs.
Phillies start their playoff run this weekend against the LA Dodgers, last year's champs. We are going to talk. Hopefully, we can talk about that today. But I know what's most important to you, Mike Jones. I know what you have been waiting all week to get in front of this microphone and talk about with me. And
You're
that
about
is
to make me mad, aren't you?
I absolutely am about to make you angry. We're about to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers starting their preseason in Abu Dhabi with a hard-fought loss to the New York Knickerbockers.
I had a good day, JB.
You had a good day?
I had a good day.
Did I mess up that day?
You want to start a show like this? Like, you want to start a show like this?
Mm-hmm.
Weather was nice.
Weather was nice. It was a beautiful day today.
Traffic was surprisingly not bad for a Friday.
I still had to get off the expressway and take Lincoln Drive.
I beat my GPS time by 15 minutes.
Ooh,
because the traffic wasn't as bad as the GPS said it was going to be.
I understand.
It was one of them type good days.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start a show like this.
All right.
You want to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. All right. Let's talk about the Sixers. Let's talk about them.
Oh, okay.
You got Jonesy Embiid back, but you don't have him back.
I mean, he made the trip to Abu Dhabi.
Did he play?
No.
Did he have a uniform on? Did he have warm-ups on? Did he participate in the shoot-around?
No.
So he was just out there stamping his passport and taking tours.
I mean, Abu Dhabi is nice this time of year.
It was a work trip for the Sixers. He was on vacation.
I mean, if you put it like that, yes, that was that's a pretty accurate assessment, sir.
How Paul George looking that game?
His outfit was hot. You know, he looked pretty cool.
Oh, so he was on vacation too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
so
Tyrese Maxey played.
He while he was in, overseas, he went and got some stem cell treatment, found the fountain of youth. So he's 25 now. He can give you 38 minutes a game.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
So what you're saying is we still don't have a point guard on the roster either.
No.
Have Jared McCain and or Tyrese Maxey grown 3 to 4 inches?
No.
So they're both just the same dude, undersized score.
Yes. Yes. Well, there you go. There's finally a yes.
And they're going to struggle to defend their position.
Probably.
So what are we talking about with the Sixers? Let's talk about the Sixers. What do you want to ask me?
I didn't really have a lot of questions lined up. I just wanted to start the show pissing you off because that's just, that's the type of friend I am. I mean, like you said, it was a pretty nice day out, and I figured it would be funny to start the show talking Sixers.
This is fun to you? I look like I'm having fun right now.
No, you don't. No, you don't look like you're having any fun right now. Like zero fun. The expression on your face right now says zero fun. Says I am not having fun.
And I hope someone on the Sixers sees this and sees my face and knows this is what they've made me. This is how they've made me feel. And it's all been predictable. We've been working together for years.
Yes.
And all the missteps along the way have been predictable because I've got the tapes to prove it.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Cannot deny that. But here we are once again at the start of another season.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping it'll be different.
Paul George and Joel Embiid are both under contract for 3 more years, including this one.
Mm-hmm.
What are we expecting anything to be different for? That's $120 million per season.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. But
it's a salary cap sport.
It is. It is.
Is anybody going to trade for either one of them?
No. Nobody's going to trade for them. No.
So why? What are we expecting to be different? VJ Edgecombe might be excited.
He might be. He had some moment because you didn't watch the game at all, did you?
I didn't. I for what?
No, well. In all seriousness, like I watched most of the game, and aside, needling you aside, putting that part of this conversation aside for a second, that game, honestly, I can talk about wanting things to be different, wishing things to be different, hoping things to be different when you know the reality is it's not going to be that different. And case in point was that game the other day. You know, yes, Maxey played, Edgecombe played, but Brunson played as well. Hart played a few minutes as well. And that backcourt gave our backcourt problems.
Exactly.
When you have front court players who are not Paul George and not Joel Embiid, they're going to struggle to consistently score points. What happened? They struggled to consistently score points.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I can come on here and put on the happy face and joke around and to mess with Mike Jones about wanting things to be different. But honestly, if you watch that game, you do realize.
Now I'll be honest.
It's not going to be much different.
If it were a situation where we were looking at Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, VJ Edgecombe, Adem Bona, that's like the whole roster, I'd be like, yeah, they need work, but there's some young talent on the team.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you're so hamstrung by the max contracts you gave to 2 guys who are rarely, if ever, healthy. It kind of handicaps anything else you're able to do for the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So having those type of assets invested into players with this type of injury history, we're really just crossing our fingers and hoping.
Yeah,
that's where we are with the Sixers.
No,
we still don't have a point guard.
No, we do not.
How long have I been asking for a point guard?
Probably for as long as I've known you.
Since Ben Simmons decided he'd rather
like
retire.
I mean, to be honest, and you thought that Ben Simmons was might have been the best facilitator that this team has had, but you questioned his ability as a true point guard because at some point in time, yes, you know, as much as you want your point guard to be able to facilitate, to give the ball to the players in the right positions, at some point in time, they got to shoot.
You got to shoot to space the floor.
Yes. And
Jason Kidd came in the league as Asen Kidd because he didn't have a J.
But he developed one, and that made him more lethal.
It wasn't like he was pulling up in everybody's face, but you leave him open for the little spot up. He
will hit it.
The defense had to respect it, and that was enough.
So to say, I believe, and this is just off the top of my head, I believe I met you either the season before they drafted Ben Simmons or Ben Simmons' first year. Like, maybe he had just come to the team when I met you.
Yeah, he was just getting there.
Yeah, so pretty much you have been talking about this team needing a point guard for as long as I've known you.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. That is true. Nonetheless, I really, I wasn't trying to go down the Sixers rabbit hole with you. I just wanted to get on your nerves because that's what I do.
Job well done.
You and I text each other during the week, have a group chat with the family. Shout out to the family. But for the most part, we don't talk until we actually do this show. So I was like, I have a lot, I save a lot for you for this moment. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get on Jonesy's nerves today. I'm gonna pick with Jonesy. That's my brother. That's what brothers do. I pick with my blood brother. My blood brother picks with me. I pick with Mike Jones. Mike Jones picks with me. I was like, let me get into this real quick by talking about the Sixers. Probably won't talk about the Sixers again till next season. No, I don't know.
The season hasn't even started yet. We'll talk about them at some point.
Yeah, we'll talk about them.
I'm looking forward to see what VJ Edgecombe does in regular season. I have high hopes for his development.
Yeah. Look, if Howie Roseman can come around and start valuing linebackers, then Daryl Morey can value a point guard and find one and bring one in who will help be a facilitator on this team.
I mean, if that's what his analytics machine tells him to do, then maybe.
What do you think an analytics machine looks like? What do you envision an analytics machine? Like something for like the Jetsons? You remember Uniblab?
What's funny is I was actually thinking about Rosie from the Jetsons.
Rosie.
Not even Uniblab. I was thinking about Rosie.
Rosie. Like puts out some little piece of paper like a receipt or something and tells you what to do.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
We need to find like a front office person to tell, like exactly what are you looking at when you're looking at your analytics? What is giving you the analytics? That is,
And of course, it's just from some computer program.
Computer, probably a phone or something. I don't know, a smartphone, tablet. I don't know. But exactly what exactly do you think Daryl Morey has? Does he have an analytics room in his crib?
Oh, he has to have an analytics room.
Like an analytics room, it just opens up, and it's like Teletran one in that piece, and then or I'm an old cartoon head. What can I say? It's all good. All right, that's enough about that. Got the Eagles this weekend. Eagles going for 5-0 against the Denver Broncos. Denver's coming to town, man. What do you know about the Denver Broncos?
Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Accomplished head coach.
Yes.
I don't know if he's as great as everyone said he was when he had Drew Brees, but he is a good head coach.
Okay.
Had Bo Nix in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a fun matchup.
All right. Well, look, I got us a guess that's going to school us about the Denver Broncos. Mike Patton our friend of the show, Mike Patton. Shout out to Mike. Mike made this introduction. So told him, come on,
have to start giving Mike a producer credit or something.
Well, we're gonna have to give him a credit because we ain't got no money. That's pretty much it. We could write him a check too. He just can't take it nowhere. But
have all zeros on it.
Exactly. That just might be full of zeros. Nothing but zeros. But, ladies and gentlemen, this man works for CBS Colorado. We got a CBS man on the show. All right. CBS Colorado, and he is the play-by-play announcer for the Mountain West Network. Man, we look like we know what we're doing this week, man. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us all the way from Denver, he said Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Denver?
Yes.
You were.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Sometimes you get some phone calls in, you're trying to figure out what's going on and everything. I'm from D-Town. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Chelsea,
We're
what's
good.
happening,
We're
brother?
good. Thank you for joining us.
And it's a pleasure to be on. Jonesy and Brown, man. You know what? Mike Patton always hooking people up on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You should give him that producer credit. My man has been grinding out here in the streets. So shout out to my man Mike Patton doing his thing.
Mike is a good dude, man. He's been helping us out
Yeah.
from the very beginning. One of our first guests. He's probably our second. You know what? In fact, he was our second guest. He was our first guest and our second guest.
Okay.
And,
okay.
Like he was also like the 7th guest, 23rd guest, 50th guest. You know, Mike Patton is a good
always
dude, man.
Grinded though.
Yeah, Mike is always grinding. We love that brother, man. Hey, thank you for coming on. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Oh, my goodness. Well, first of all, shout out to my Colorado Buffaloes, man. I'm a Buff. I played 3 years there from 2004 to 2006. And so Northeast Denver, born and raised. And so, I'm just enjoying life, able to do news and sports out in Denver. So I work on the morning show. So that's mostly news, what I do there on CBS Colorado. And then in the evenings, it gives me the time to do play-by-play broadcasting. So I've done games for the Mountain West Network, Altitude Sports and Entertainment, which takes on the Nuggets, Avalanche, and also Air Force Falcons, which is the games that I was able to do D1-wise. And so it's been a blast, man. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and it's great to spend a Friday night with you fellas.
So I got to ask real quick, before we even get into the Eagles, Broncos, as a former Buffalo, how are you feeling about the Coach Prime era?
I love the Coach Prime era. I mean, especially from where it was, guys, and it was terrible. I mean, terrible is not even a word for it. They don't even have words for how bad it was in the dictionary. I looked it up, too. I was like, damn, how do you say a word for a 1-11 team that was blown out in pretty much every game but one? And the only game that they won was in overtime, and it was because a tight end dropped the pass in the end zone that would have gave them the win. How do you describe that? They didn't have that word. So it's really exciting to be able to have that. I mean, for you guys to even be talking about the Colorado Buffaloes, be honest. When was the last time you cared about not just the Buffs, a college football team in Colorado? When was the last time you cared?
Cordell Stewart.
Exactly. Exactly.
Never.
Everybody goes back to Cordell Stewart. You might even go with Darren Hagen days as well, right? I mean, if you go that far back. So it just brings the Buffs back in the spotlight. And as long as Coach Prime is here, Deion Sanders is here, the hope is that we could be able to continue to build up this program. It's going to take a little bit of time, even in the NIL era, but hopefully we'll be able to see more of the Travis Hunters and Shedeur Sanders be able to come through the doors at Folsom Field.
With Shedeur gone, Coach Prime has to coach up finally has to coach up a quarterback that's not his son.
Yeah.
Like how's that coming along?
It's going about as well as you think it would. Not going that well right now. It's a struggle. Caden Salter is just a different quarterback. And so there's been kind of this merry-go-round at quarterback early on for the Buffs. They tried 3 different guys. They have this fantastic freshman, Julian Lewis, 5-star, but he's a baby. He just turned 18. And so he needs time to be able to go and catch up to speed at the Division I level, Power 4 level. But you look at the rest of the team, and they have a really good offensive line. One guy to keep an eye on, and we talk about the Eagles, how you guys really love your O-line. Keep an eye on this guy by the name of Jordan Seaton. Left tackle. He's a sophomore, graded as the highest graded left tackle by Pro Football Focus. He's going to be a guy who will be gone next year. He'll be a top 10, top 5 draft pick. So when you talk about guys who can really do some things, that's one of the guys right there in Jordan Seaton. But it's just taking a lot of time with the rest of the guys, Caden Salter as well, being the quarterback. So we see what will happen with the Buffs. They take on TCU, a ranked team at TCU. There are 13.5 dogs in that game. So 2-3 right now. It's at the point of the year where they could either be a team that does something this season, or it could really go in the other direction rather quickly.
All right. One last Colorado question for you. You see a lot of the star power that Coach Prime brings in. You see Michael Irvin and T.O. and Warren Sapp and all those guys on the sideline. Does he have that same type of? Is he that inviting with like alumni? Has he tried to bridge that gap, keep you guys and keep the alumni involved as well?
For sure. I think it's one of those things where, there's always kind of that fence no matter what, because as one individual who works for the University of Colorado on the administrative side told me when he was being hired, look, we're hiring a celebrity coach, not just a coach, but a true celebrity coach. So there will always be, yeah, we want you here, but really at a certain kind of area, right? There's always that line that'll be drawn, and that's fine. It is what it is. You know, it's better than what has been seen in the past with some coaches who just haven't been inviting for alumni for one reason or another. But all that we care about is, can you get some W's? And right now they were able to do so last year. This season, it's a rebuilding year, but hopefully this team will be able to get some things together, be able to get to a bowl game.
Awesome. Once again, talking to Justin Adams from CBS Colorado. All right, let's move on to the Denver Broncos. This year, you got 2-2. Both of your wins are at home. Both of your losses are on the road.
Yeah.
And now you are faced with the task of coming east to Philadelphia for a 1:00 game.
Yeah.
For this Denver team, how daunting of a task is that?
Well, you also have to put in that it's a short week, too, because the Broncos played the Bengals, who are a pathetic franchise right now, especially without Joe Burrow. I mean, it is what it is. If you watched that game on Monday night, God bless you. I don't know why you did that, because it was a snooze fest, to be honest with you. I was there with my son. My son asked to leave at third quarter. I said, son, I paid $70-some-odd for these tickets, and they half price. You better go and watch this game, okay? But the main thing about it is this team has a really good defense. And, I mean, they have two guys that really get off the edge, and one person that you could look and say quarter way into the season could be the defensive player of the year, and that's Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito has 4.5 sacks. And the one thing that he does, he reminds me a lot of Von Miller in this sense. He just has such a great get off that there's many times that your tackle doesn't even touch him. And so I don't know if Lane Johnson is going to be playing. He looks like he will be when you look at the injury report. But Lane Johnson is one of the best right tackles in the business. But he has to be on his A game this week, because when you have a guy like Bonito, when you have another guy like Jonathan Cooper, who's also able to go and have that meeting of the minds at the quarterback, you better go get that together. And, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, you have Zach Allen, who is one of the players who has the most pressures and hits on quarterbacks for the last couple of years. And he's right there in the middle. So it's going to be one of those games where, yes, it's a daunting task for the Broncos being on a short week, going to the East Coast and playing at a 1:00 game, which is really 11:00 Denver time. So how will your body be able to readjust? But it's a great opportunity for the Broncos. If they could get this win, you look at the rest of their schedule, it could really put them in a really great spot.
Okay, so as you say that defense, there's been a lot of talk in Philly about A.J. Brown this week and his desire to be involved in the Philly offense. And your defense has a very talented cornerback out there. How do you see that matchup playing out?
Well, you know what? Pat Surtain is the reigning defensive player of the year, one of the best in the business. I mean, he took on Jamar Chase last week, and Jamar Chase had one catch that I remember. That was about it. He was a race for the rest of the game, right? It's very, very difficult when you're taking on him, right? And so here's always the issue, and it doesn't matter what level of football that you have. Here's always the issue. At some point, you have to think of what's best for the team and also what's best to get a player going. Because sometimes you find yourself forcing the football to a wide receiver, and it takes you out of the flow of the rest of your offense. So rather than saying, hey, let's give the ball to Saquon Barkley, let's go and make sure that Dallas Goedert gets the football, let's go and focus on the rest of the team, you're now looking and saying, oh, A.J. Brown, he hasn't caught the pass in a while. Oh, there's been a series where he didn't get the football. Let's go and make sure we get it his way. And now you're taking yourself out the flow of the rest of the team. If there's one thing that the Broncos do struggle in, is against the run. Now, they're not terrible against the run, but when they played against Indianapolis, for example, Jonathan Taylor was able to reel off a couple of long runs, had a 60-plus run in the fourth quarter against the Broncos. And so if you're patient enough, you will have a chance to be able to move the football, but you do not need to go and force feed a wide receiver. Even though he is upset, you got to make sure that you have him into the flow of your offense, or it could really mess things up. And you do not want to find yourself at third down and long against this Broncos defense. I'm just going to call it like it is. It will not be a good day for Jalen Hurts.
No, I understand. We understand. And, you know, we've heard about that Broncos front seven. And in all of the talk, the A.J. Brown talk this week, as far as the Eagles are concerned, a lot of people were like, okay, well, on the other side of that field is going to be Surtain. So this might not be the week we try to fix things with A.J. Brown.
Right.
But my question would be, you look on the other side of that ball. And how confident are you in a guy like Riley Moss and the rest of that secondary against a guy like Devontae Smith?
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? We're fixing to find out. Look, Riley Moss is a guy that's going to always see a lot of passes thrown his way. And one of the main reasons why is because who's the other guy who's on? Oh, yeah, Pat Surtain, right? So, hey, he has an attitude. And he comes in with a chip on his shoulder, which is great to see. He does play sticky coverage, but he does give up a lot of receptions as well. But what quarterback doesn't give up receptions? I think the biggest thing for Riley Moss in this game is that you don't give up those big plays. Can he stay away from those 20-plus passing plays? Because I think what the Broncos may do is you come out and say, we're going to stop Saquon Barkley. I mean, you guys have seen this before, right? Stop Saquon and say, all right, Jalen, throw the football. Do what you got to do. And if you do that, and if you're successful, where are they going to go? They're not going to go to A.J. Brown against Pat Surtain. It's going to be, all right, let's go after Riley Moss. And so that's one of the things that we're going to see in this game. We may even see a chess match. I would love to see the Eagles be a little more creative. I watched a couple of games. I would love to see them figure out a way how to get A.J. Brown in the slot. Or maybe Devontae Smith, you can move him around a little bit as well, right? Have two Alabama guys go against each other, right? And so it'll be interesting to see if they're going to be creative in this game and give your offense a chance to be able to move the ball down the field.
All right, let's talk about the other side of the ball for Denver for a second. Second-year quarterback Bo Nix. From what I'm seeing on numbers, it's been solid, not world, like a world-beating type QB performance from him through the first 4 games, but solid. What are you seeing from him in his development this year?
Yeah, he checks down a lot. Let's just start from there, okay? So that's one of the things I did see. But when he checks down, he gives his running backs a chance to be able to move that ball. So we got a guy by the name of R.J. Harvey, and he's a rookie from Central Florida, or University of Central Florida. Excuse me out there. I know the head coach will be upset when you say Central Florida. Like everybody cares about that anyway. But the main thing is he gets the ball, and he quickly gets him. He quickly goes and say, hey, let me get the ball to this guy. Get the ball to this guy. One thing is the pass rush for the Eagles haven't been the same that it was last year. And so with that, he'll have a little bit more time if he's patient in the pocket and to be able to go through his reads and get the ball down the field, especially in the intermediate areas. And so I'll imagine to see guys like Courtney Sutton, for example, wide receiver, the number 1 guy for the Broncos, to be able to have a couple of opportunities in this game. We will see how that all works out. One thing that they haven't done is the Broncos haven't been able to get the ball to their tight end for some reason. Evan Ingram, who was a pickup from the Jacksonville Jags, he hasn't been able to do a lot so far yet this year. Will this be the game where you're able to expose the middle of the field and also the flats? Can you do that in this game? We'll see what happens, especially the very, very tough Vic Fangio defense. I think this game is going to come down to this, guys. What happens in the red zone? We all know that Vic Fangio, whenever you go up against the Eagles in the red zone, same thing that happened here with the Broncos when Vic Fangio was the coach too, one of the top red zone defenses in the league. It's very hard to get things rolling in the red zone. On the opposite end, though, for the Eagles, hey, man, you guys look great in the red zone. That's really where you make your hay. So that's what this game's going to come down to. Can the Broncos, can they be able to execute in the red zone? If they do, they have a great chance to win.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because you mentioned Coach Fangio, I believe the last time he was on the sidelines in Denver was when he was their head coach. Has there been any talk about his return out there?
No, not too much. I mean, when he was here, he was making meatballs and everything. And I just mentioned meatballs because I'm hungry right now. But, I think there's just a mentioning of, hey, you're going up against, a former head coach and, you might have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder or whatnot. But here's the reality. Vic Fangio's been a part of this business for a long time. And so that's his first chance to get a head coaching job. But you know what? He fell back at a pretty good spot with the Eagles, don't you think? Right? Cooper DeJean, he's able to have guys like that in the backfield. So I do – everybody wants to go and prove it. This is the NFL. There's only 32 jobs or whatever you have. So there's only 32 defensive coordinator jobs. He wants to go and prove a little bit more to the Broncos and also against Sean Payton, too. This is a guy that he knows very well. So it'll be interesting to see kind of that chess match that we'll see in this game. Should be really exciting.
Bringing it back to Bo Nix for a second there. Like for Eagles fans, this is our first real chance to get to see him. To
Yeah.
you know, you hear about him, you see the highlights, but this is really Eagles fans' first time really seeing Bo Nix. How high is the Denver fan base on this guy?
Yeah, it's a little bit up and down. But you have to think about it though when you talk about a Denver franchise. All right, we saw a guy by the name of John Elway. I don't know if you know him. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I heard he was pretty good. Yeah, I heard he was an all-time great. That's what I heard though.
Yeah, he's able to do the drive, couple of Super Bowls, had Terrell Davis in the backfield. He was that guy. He was that dude. And then also Broncos know about a guy by the name of Peyton Manning. And even though he was on the last leg, we saw him throw 55 touchdowns in one season.
That last leg won y'all a Super Bowl, didn't he? That's what I heard.
Now, he was playing like he was on one leg and one arm, or half an arm, right? But
at the end of the game, y'all won, and he was on the team, though.
That's right. He was also ready to get some beer as well, if you remember the post-game speech. But I think the thing about Bo Nix is, number one, he's very athletic. Has a stronger arm than you think. If you guys take a look at some film and just look at some highlights, he had a throw to Marvin Mims against the Bengals. It was on just a 2-minute drill. So right before halftime, that was on a rope to the sideline. And it was from, I want to say the left hash mark to the left sideline or whatnot. Maybe it's from the right hash mark. But he has some throws where ever so often, he'll let that thing fly, and you'd be like, man, what a throw, right? Even had a really good touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton. But he'll also have plays where he'll have an interception right in 4th and 2, and you're right at the goal line, and he'll throw it right, try to get to a tight end, and there's a linebacker waiting right there. So he will make some mistakes ever so often. The one thing that has hurt the Broncos this year is this. They have had the lead in every game. Guys, let me break this down for you. The Broncos are the only team in the NFL to be 2-2 and have never trailed in the fourth quarter. I'm going to let that marinate for a little bit for you. The Broncos have lost 2 games and haven't trailed once in the fourth quarter. Both of the games they lost was right as time expired. Lost to the Chargers in the last-second field goal and lost to the Colts because of a leveraging penalty. And then the Colts were able to go and make a field goal. In each of those losses, yes, they were on the road, but in each of those losses, they were the better team. But the offense had opportunities to put the game away, and they weren't able to do so. And here's the reasons why. You had penalties. You had an interception by Bo Nix, especially against the Colts. You also had against the Chargers. You had a goal-to-go situation, and you settled for a field goal. Here's my rule in the game of football. In all my years of playing in college, and have been studying the game and learned the game, especially professionally. If you settle for field goals, you will lose. And there are several times the Broncos have settled for field goals this season, and they have lost game. This team should be 4-0, at worst 3-1. But they're coming into this game 2-2 because they haven't been able to finish. What makes this game so scary for me is that that's the complete opposite of the Eagles. You can look at the numbers and say, hey, that's not Star Wars numbers. I know it was -1 in the second half against Tampa Bay. Nobody cares. You know what the Eagles do? They finish. They figure out ways how to be able to win the game. And that may be the difference in this one. Can the Broncos finally be able to finish a football game on the road? As Gary Kubiak, who's a former head coach for the Broncos, said, we're fixing to find out.
I hear you. Justin Adams from CBS Colorado joining us, man. We appreciate you, good brother.
Hey, guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, you need me anytime. You let me know. I'm wide open. I'm inside my office right now. By the way, this is some utensils right here that my son's going to use. We call them vacuum cleaners. He's 6 years old.
Completely. I appreciate you.
Teach the children well.
Exactly. I got 2 daughters who act like they've never seen a vacuum cleaner in their life, even though they saw one earlier that day. I appreciate that, good brother. Truly do.
Hey,
how can people get? Sure, go ahead, man.
Because I know we all go get to that, man. If you want to get a hold of me, we'll give you that information. What do you guys honestly think about Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and just this whole crazy saga that's going on right now? What's the real? And I'll talk about boots on the ground, man. I'll talk about guys from the streets. What's good?
Why don't you start there with that? Why don't you start there, Jonesy? Go ahead, sir.
I was leaning back because
I know you were.
But I'm gonna answer this. I will answer first. So I am, and The difference in our answers will let you know what it's like here. I'm quite critical of Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
I think when Jalen Hurts plays at his ceiling, he's very, very good, close to great. My problem is that he doesn't play at or near his ceiling consistently enough. So in a lot of situations, I feel like the Eagles offense should be a race car, and we have a semi-truck driver behind the wheel. He's a good driver. He's a skilled driver, but doesn't necessarily fit the machine he's running. That's my feeling.
Okay.
I would like to quote great football philosopher Herman Edwards. Hello, you play to win the game. When the Eagles play with Jalen Hurts, more times than not, they win the game. I think with Jalen Hurts, and honestly with this Eagles team, this current incarnation of the Eagles, they have challenged conventional wisdom, where there are things that you normally think, you normally feel in regards to football and football talk that just don't bother this team, that don't come in. And I think Jalen Hurts is a big part of that. He's somebody who controls that locker room. I think he is truly a leader of men. Jalen Hurts will win you. And he does the most important thing you ask of a quarterback. He will go out, he will win you a game, and he's not going to lose you a game.
Right. He was not turn it over.
He's not going to turn over. He's not going to turn over the ball. And I can't remember it's been a while since Jalen Hurts has truly had a stinker. Like there's been times when, you've seen his ceiling, but I'm not quite sure I can't remember the last time he's been at the floor, and just had that stinker of a game. But honestly, I'm pleased with him. Sometimes I feel a little the criticism is a little unfair. As good as this Eagles team is, this is an Eagles team that is so good they have to bring in a new offensive coordinator darn near every year. And it's like every year, yes, they're coming off a successful season since Hurts has been there, but every year, pretty much during this thing, he's had to come in with a new offensive coordinator. And for a young guy, that's still a lot to ask for a young guy. So,
at what point do we stop calling him a young guy as a quarterback?
When he ain't a young guy,
his rookie, he's off his rookie contract.
No, that I understand.
He's a veteran quarterback.
He's got years.
I will about the change in offensive coordinators. That offense they run is the same every year. The play caller is different. The offense is the same. You know that. I know that. Players know that. Everyone knows that. The offense hasn't changed. And the reason it doesn't change is because you have to build a certain type of offense around Jalen Hurts. There are limitations to what he can do. You don't want him throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. When you have tried that with them, the turnover rate was much higher than you would like.
That's when you were having them stinkers, but that was a couple of years ago. See, first of all,
that was the first 4 games of last year.
Justin, you think you slick? Mike, I know Mike Patton told you.
Last season.
Mike Patton told you to start this, didn't he? Stop, you think you're slick? All right.
I'm just here to create good content. That's all.
That man texted you That man texted you outside the group chat that he had with me and you and said, "This is what you wanted to do." I want to get close to your brow. See, Mike.
What?
Mike, I know you're watching. I know you're listening. You ain't slick, bruh. I see, and it's cool too, Next thing he goes. I know what your next question is. What is our thoughts on March Madness? But I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Look, I can't clown March Madness right now because you know what? I still remember Villanova winning back-to-back. So anytime you go back to back, you're all right with me.
Nah, man, I love it. You know, once again, see, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with Mike Jones, because me and Mike Jones have distinct. We both love March Madness, but there's something about the whole process that I just don't have it in me to argue with them in October
I'm leaving
about
it alone right now.
Yeah,
I haven't
I'm just
said
saying.
a word.
I know. I understand.
I'm just saying,
I'm dancing around the rabbit hole, but I'm not
whether
going
your
in.
team number 1 or team 68, you're in the tournament.
You're
You
in the
got a chance
tournament.
to win.
Exactly.
Well, now, guys, they're talking about making it 76.
That's just going to make our argument worse. It's coming though.
Yes,
It's going to make everything worse, but it is truly coming though. But now, Justin Adams, where can people reach you, sir?
They can reach me online, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you could think of, at Justin Adams TV. Again, Justin Adams TV. Follow me. I'll follow you back. And oh, by the way, guys, I went viral last week. So if you check out my social media, just go to my Instagram page. There was a story last week that I did. This is my news story where I'm just getting off air, so off TV. And police are looking, I'm in the mountains, and police are looking for a suspect, 5'10", 6 feet tall, and thin build, and also wearing tactical gear. Now remember that, 5'10", 6 feet tall, wearing tactical gear with thin build. As I'm just getting off air, I turn around, and no joke, the guy who I'm talking about is literally walking behind me.
I think I saw that.
It's on Complex. It's on World Star.
I think I saw that, and I'm not even. I'm not joking around. I legit think I saw that.
I'm that guy. so I go, yo, turn the camera around. Like, hey, go get the camera around there. And so people are cracking up. There's several different reasons why people are laughing. I think the main reason is the code switching. And let me tell you, man, we all code switch because we got to go and pay those bills.
Absolutely.
You know that? But
exactly.
It's a funny clip. Check it out online, man. Leave a comment, and I'll comment back.
Now, I will honestly say, as somebody who has worked in news for a long time, I paid a few bills with news money. You appreciate on-air talent who know how to be one of the brothers and know how to talk like they one of the brothers.
Yes.
You know, and you know when they can do, you respect when they can and when they can't, because they got bills too, but you appreciate those moments. You know, when the red light goes off and you have a couple of minutes to just, you know, be real, you truly appreciate that, man.
You got to have that because it keeps you human. And if you don't have that, then are you really doing your job the way that you're supposed to?
No doubt. Justin, thank you, brother. This has been real, man. We and please know we fully intend to take you up on your offer, and we will probably call you a whole lot, and you're going to be tired of us.
That's okay.
And it's like I can't believe Jonesy and Brown want me back on again. I was just on earlier this week. You know, that's just what we do. You know, we find a good connection and we pretty much wear it all the way out until they don't want to mess with us anymore.
Hey, man, I'm right here for you guys. But you know, my wife is calling, so I got to go a skedaddle a little bit. But you know what? Hey, whatever
priorities.
No, we understand. We ain't trying to mess up nobody's happy home, man. we completely understand. Tell Mrs. Adams we appreciate the time you gave us, man.
Respect, man. Appreciate
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Justin Adams from CBS Colorado. We appreciate that, brother, man. Look at us expanding
good stuff.
Exactly.
I feel a little more educated about what to expect in this week's Broncos loss.
You think you pretty confident in the Eagles, right?
I am.
All right. Are you just as confident in the Eagles as in the Philadelphia Phillies as they're bringing the Dodgers are coming to town? Last year's World Series champions.
So
Ohtani on the mound for Game 1.
So I absolutely believe this Phillies team can beat the Dodgers. Last 2 seasons, Phillies versus Dodgers, Phillies have had a decent amount of success against LA. My only fear, which it's not a major fear because this season's roster feels a little different, feels like a longer lineup, more complete team offensively. But, you know, this team has to show me they're not still the same guys whose bats all go cold at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
When they're playing their game, they can beat anybody.
Yes.
So am I confident they can win? Yes, I am confident they can win. But yeah, they got to show me that those guys are going to go cold again.
Do you remember that last great run of the Phillies with J. Roll and Peace and Utley?
07 to
and
11.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember?
Was the first playoffs. 8 was
that was the World Series. That was the World Series winning year. 09 World Series losing year. But in 08, they start that they I think the first series was against the Brewers, and the Brewers had CC Sabathia. And people were real worried going into the series about how much success the Phillies could have against a pitcher like CC Sabathia.
Right.
And they handled him pretty well. I mean, I think the Phillies ended up showing for themselves really well in that series. They had some success against Sabathia. That's how I feel about Ohtani. It's like, I understand that they couldn't touch him last time he was here.
So
or last time they played him.
Regular season, yeah, they couldn't touch him last time they played. Ohtani last year as a DH did his thing. They won the World Series. He didn't pitch in the postseason last year.
Yeah,
he never pitched in the postseason with the Angels.
Did he even reach the postseason with them?
No, that's why he never pitched in the postseason with the Angels. So I don't know what he is as a postseason pitcher. I definitely don't know what he is as a postseason pitcher coming into Citizens Bank Park. That crowd can rattle anyone.
It's going
to be a different. Yeah, like what he saw coming into Philly for a regular season game, and that crowd is spirited, will not be the same thing as a Red October game.
No, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. And I mean, they had 31,000 for a practice game.
Right.
For practice
only the lower portion of seating was available. And there was no seating available in the lower portion, basically.
No, you're right about that. And it's going to be absolutely crazy. And sun's going to be down. It's just going to be like something you've never seen before in your life. He's never seen before. So it's like that in itself is a daunting task.
Exactly.
I think honestly, I feel the same way that you feel. Whereas there are question marks as to if these bats can come alive. But if they come out and they hit,
yeah, they could beat anybody.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of anybody. Not afraid of them. Probably the one team I was really worried about in the National League. They watching the rest of the playoffs for
that's the only team I actually was like they might be in our heads. Back to that conversation we had before, like with the confidence and the mental block, can we beat this team? The Mets, because of Philly's recent performance against them, I was like, yeah, they might be in our heads. I don't know if we beat them.
And it's crazy to me. Like, I've spent a lot of time on social media, a lot of baseball seasons, making fun of the Mets. And then to have lost that series last year, the way we lost that series, kind of, that definitely, I could see one, how it would get into a player's head, but also how it got into my own head, where that series last year shell shocked me. And, the Mets are home, the Padres are home. I was worried about the Padres too.
You check in on the deal?
I just wanted to let it deal. Honestly, Dio has. I love that brother. He texts a lot of profanity. Not that I got virgin ears or whatever, but your notifications come up and you just get like the first 2-3 words of a text. I can always tell when a Dio's mad because you just read your notification. You don't even read the text.
A little preview of the notification.
Yeah, a little preview, and it's just like F this, and I can't effing believe, is this an effing strike or what? It's like, so I just wanted to give a Dio some time to just chill to gain his thoughts because I understand. And the deal is one of them brothers who will sit there and after he gets all that anger over his Padres out of his system, know what he's gonna do? He's gonna go to his closet, put the Padres hat away, pick up a Phillies hat, and be like, "Yeah, let's go, Red October."
I mean, as he should. Why not enjoy the ride?
He should have enjoyed the ride from the beginning, but I'm not here to judge that. At least not at this point in the program because we're almost done. But nonetheless, we do have the Phillies coming in. Hopefully by the time we reconvene on this show, we'll probably 3 games into this series. Game 1 is Saturday, game 2 is Monday, and I believe game 3 and 4 are Wednesday and Thursday. So we will see. My confidence is high. Do we extend the no predictions rule to baseball? We did away with it for football. Do we extend it to baseball?
Yeah, so you are correct. Games 3 and 4 are Wednesday and Thursday.
And those are the LA games.
I'm not going to dabble with predicting baseball scores, but I do have the Phillies winning the series.
How many games? Or is that too much of a prediction?
I think it might be over. In 4.
Yeah,
I think the Phillies can get it 3-1.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking the same thing
because it's a best of 5 series in the division.
Mm-hmm. Do you like that in baseball? Best of 5? Do you like that best of 5, or do you think it should be 7?
I like best of 5.
Okay.
Best of 5 actually makes it a little more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
In a best of 7 series, you generally know who's going to win, especially in those opening rounds. Best of 5, you know who should win, but in the shorter series, that chance for a little fluke occurrence to happen is increased. So it adds to the excitement zone. But if you're the better team, you should still win.
Yeah, I think it's easy in a best of 5 series. It's easier to steal 2 games.
It's easier for the underdog.
You could you're playing a team.
You really only have to steal 1 game on the road.
Yeah. Okay.
You hope to get something at home. Hope to get 2 at home.
No, I understand.
As a playoff team, you figure I can win 2 home games.
Yeah.
It's baseball. Like basketball, you see real gaps in ability between some teams.
Yeah, the difference between the 1 and an 8 is a little bit bigger in basketball than than in almost any other sport.
In
almost
hockey,
any other
a
sport.
1 and an 8 can beat a 1.
Yeah, and you can. See, that's a whole nother conversation. Should have talked about. Well, you know what? No, we shouldn't have because the Flyers is dookie too.
I think the Flyers are. They may have a sense of direction. I'm not saying they're going to be good this year. I think they may finally have a sense of direction. It's a long time they were stuck getting past their prime dudes, and the guys they were in their prime were moderate talents. They weren't stars. They just kind of stayed stuck in the mud.
They still want to lean on former Flyers. They're still afraid to go out. Seems to have a fear of going outside of the organization for leadership and help. And
in the front office, yeah, I agree. I'll give you that. But this current regime does seem to have a slightly different approach to the team building process than just re-signing a bunch of past their prime signing a bunch of past their prime stars, and you stay in that last team in, first team out type 8 seed range, and
Yeah, no, I understand.
Where the Sixers are right now.
The Sixers even get to that point, I'd be pleased. They ain't the first team out. They ain't the second team. At this point, I'm when does the lot? I'm back to when does the lottery start? When did they announce the lottery? I really didn't think I'd be back here, but right now, when does the lottery start? I'm already waiting for that countdown. Either way, Mike Jones, you have a good sports weekend, sir. There's a lot to watch.
Oh,
all right.
Man. It's going to be busy.
It is going to be very busy, and we want to talk to you guys about it. We want you guys to see it. We want to hear your thoughts. Hit us up, Facebook, Instagram, X, at Jonesy and Brown, or at BITW Sports. You can download this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. There's a big long list of it on our website at BITWsports.com. Once again, special thanks to our guest, Justin Adams from CBS, Colorado. Been a good day, you guys. Hey, man, thank you, Mike Jones.
Our guest producer, Mike Patton.
Mike Patton, our booking coordinator. Honestly, man, Mike, like, that was always, like, between Mike Patton and Renee Washington, who, like, pretty much created just this circle of content creators. We've been able to lean on that and get really good guests who've been able to give us good insight on sports outside of Philadelphia. We appreciate the both of those guys. We appreciate both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Jonesy and Brown Show. That's Mike Jones. Final thoughts.
Go Birds.
I'll take that.
Although
go Birds, go Phillies.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. Did you know that the NFL owns that phrase?
No. They own Go Birds?
Yeah, I found that out recently. That phrase is copywritten.
Well, there goes the Jonesy and Brown Go Birds sweatshirts I was going to work with. Create some merch so we can get some money. But
right.
Well, there. Oh, I'm glad we had this conversation. All right, y'all. That's Jonesy and Brown, man. We out, y'all. Peace.
This podcast is a production of Best in the World Sports, a division of Definitive Visions Multimedia. To subscribe, download, and follow on social media, go to BITWsports.com. You're listening to Jonesy and Brown.